All right, let's jump right in. What if I told you there's a 2,500-year-old life hack, straight from the Buddha to his own son, that's so powerful and practical, you can literally start using it the second this is over? We're going to unpack this incredible piece of ancient wisdom, and trust me, it's a total game changer.
So, how does the story begin? Well, the Buddha, being an amazing teacher, knew a dry lecture wasn't going to cut it. Instead, he starts with a bit of, theater. He uses a simple everyday object, a water dipper, to grab his son's attention in a really dramatic way.
So imagine this. He holds up this dipper and there's almost nothing in it, just a tiny little bit of water left at the very bottom. He looks his son right in the eye and asks, "Rahula, do you see this? This tiny bit of water?"
And boom, this is where the first lesson hits, and it hits hard. The Buddha tells him, that little splash of water, that is exactly how much spiritual goodness, how much worth is left inside a person who can tell a deliberate lie without feeling any shame. Basically, nothing.
And then, to really drive the point home, he just flicks his wrist and tosses that last bit of water onto the ground. Gone. Just like that, he says, a person who lies just throws away whatever little goodness they had left. It's just tossed out, discarded.
He's not done yet. Next, he takes the dipper and flips it completely upside down. He shows it to his son and explains, this is what happens to a liar's potential for good. It's totally overturned. You can't pour anything good into it. Nothing of value can get in.
And for the final, powerful image, he just holds up that empty, overturned dipper. This, he says, is what a liar is on the inside. Completely empty, hollow. There's just nothing there. I mean, what a terrifyingly brilliant way to teach a lesson, right?
Okay, so the obvious takeaway here is don't lie, right? It's a pretty intense warning. But if we just stop there, we're missing the absolute genius of this teaching. There's a much, much deeper level to this, a practical tool hidden just beneath the surface.
And to unlock that deeper meaning, we're going to approach this text from two different angles. First, there's the straightforward modern translation. Let's call that the what. It's what the words mean on the surface. But then we're going to dig deeper into the original intent, the root meaning of the words. And that's the why. And our guide for finding the why is this amazing ancient principle called niruti. Now think of niruti as looking at a word's DNA. It's not just about a simple dictionary definition. No, it's about seeing where the word came from, its entire history, its hidden emotional weight. It's the key to the whole thing.
All right, let's put this into practice. The Buddha uses another incredible metaphor to really hammer this point home, and this time it involves a massive royal war elephant.
So, he paints this picture of a huge war elephant in the middle of a battle. This thing is an absolute master of combat. It uses everything it has, its legs, its body, its head, its tusks, even its tail. It's a full-body weapon.
But in all that chaos, the elephant instinctively protects one thing above all else, its trunk. It just knows that its very survival depends on keeping that trunk safe.
But then, there's a point of no return. The Buddha says that the moment the elephant decides to use its trunk as a weapon, it's basically given up on living. It's the ultimate all-in move. At that point, all bets are off. There is absolutely nothing it won't do.
Okay, so how does a war elephant connect to telling lies? This is where niruti comes in. The original Pali word here is lajja. Now, a simple modern translation, the what, would be shame or conscience. Kinda abstract, right? But when we look at the why through niruti, the meaning is so much more powerful. It means to visibly shrink back from evil. It's not just a feeling, it's a physical gut reaction, an instinct to pull away from doing wrong.
And that brings us to the Buddha's mind-blowing conclusion. Your conscience is your trunk. That physical recoil from evil, that's your last line of defense. The moment you tell a deliberate lie without that feeling, you've just used your trunk in battle. You've crossed the line. And according to the Buddha, there is now no evil you're not capable of.
So, that's pretty intense. The big question then is, how do we protect our trunk? How do we keep our conscience intact? Well, this is where the Buddha pivots from these heavy warnings to an incredibly simple, practical tool you can start using today.
He then picks up a third and final object, a mirror. He asks his son a really simple question. Rahula, what's a mirror for? And Rahula gives the simple, obvious answer. It's for reflection.
And that's it. That's the core of this ancient life hack right there. The Buddha says our minds should be like that mirror. We need to use them to reflect on our actions. Not just, once a year during New Year's resolutions, but repeatedly, constantly.
And he breaks it down into this incredibly simple but powerful 3-step process. Step 1, before you do something, check your motive. Step 2, while you're doing it, check its impact. And step 3, after you've done it, check the result. It's that easy, before, during, and after.
And get this isn't just for like the big, heavy life decisions. No, he's crystal clear. This applies to everything. Every single action your body takes, every word that comes out of your mouth. And yep, even every little thought that pops into your head.
And at every stage, the key question you ask yourself is always the same. Is this action going to cause harm to me, to someone else, or to both of us? If the answer is yes, you just stop. If you see it's going to be beneficial, you keep going. Simple as that.
So what happens if you look in the mirror afterward and realize, oops, I messed up, I caused some harm? Well, the instruction here is so compassionate. It's not about beating yourself up or drowning in guilt. It's simple. You just acknowledge it, maybe talk it over with someone you trust, and then you make a genuine resolution to be more mindful next time. That's it. It's a system for getting cleaner, not for punishment.
What's really amazing is that this whole process of constant reflection isn't just some dusty, ancient idea. The Buddha says that all purified people in the past, right now in the present, and in the future use this exact same method to get there. It's a truly timeless and universal tool for living a better life. And that brings this 2,500-year-old lesson right here into your life right now. This simple 3-step mirror test for your thoughts, your words, and your actions. It all comes down to one final question for you. What will you see when you look in your mirror today?